you guys should have beat. They should have beat us. We played outstanding basketball, and we deserved every. No one should try to poo-poo. The way we played.
He just said poo-poo.
What?
I said you just said poo-poo.
Yeah.
Great.
No, we played really well, man, and we should be very enthusiastic about how if we play this brand of basketball and we're hitting our shots, we can compete with anyone.
Yes. I'm not saying we'll win, but yes, if we're hitting, then again, if you're shooting 46 3-pointers and you're hitting 37% of them, 17 of 46, that helps.
And the stars came out.
Everyone was there. It's a big game. It's LeBron.
Everyone.
It's LeBron. Everyone comes out for this team.
Oh, I thought they were there to see my boy Joe Harris light him up.
No, they were there to see Spencer Dinwiddie lead the charge. Look, we talked about it episode 3. And, again, I told you this. I'm a part of several net groups on Facebook. A lot of conversation. So after our conversation and our disagreement, I posted it, and they brought up a good point. I mean, really, I guess you could look at it like this. They kind of play two different positions. And I know you touched on it, and I didn't want to hear it. But he can play the 2, right, Whitehead? He's not Dinwiddie in the sense that he's a prototypical point guard.
Well, no, I mean, listen, I don't. There's going to be many times I'm going to be wrong, and I don't mind saying I was wrong. I was definitely wrong about him, especially early on in this year. He's played out of his mind, and I don't think Whitehead could replicate what he's done. So we should end that conversation now.
Yeah.
But back to what I was trying to say was, and what I love about Atkinson's offense is whoever gets the rebound, unless it's Mozgov or maybe Jared Allen, everyone else can push the ball.
Yeah.
Can make the right pass and can kind of play that point forward, depending on on if there's an opening on offense to get something pushing. So I like the way we play. But the biggest thing about Dinwiddie that I'm starting to enjoy is it's the same thing I dislike the most is his demeanor, because now seeing him in close games and seeing him be calm and not. Last episode we killed Russell for taking up an ill-advised shot. In this game, there's times that Dinwiddie's dribbling, and makes the right pass, and then it leads to the right shot because he's patient as opposed to being impatient and taking rush shots.
Very true. So at what point, Chris LeVert, to say he's struggling offensively is maybe a little bit of an understatement. He's shooting less than 38%. For Cleveland, he was 5 of 14, 10 points. Are they keeping him in the starting lineup to let him grow so he can get his minutes? So he's playing almost 30 minutes a game. Him and Crabbe are close.
We're a long way away from him losing minutes.
I'm talking about starting. You leaving him in regardless of the shooting woes right now?
Yeah, I would. To me, again, in today's NBA, starting is a formality. Like, I don't really pay attention. I care about who's closing the game and who's getting the most minutes. So, whether he's, I'm more interested in, is he going to be closing the games? And when he's out there, he does little things that no one's ever going to see.
You are right. No, that is true.
He can switch and play multiple positions on defense. He can put his hand and close the passing lanes. So he does little things, and only net fans will see it. And then in time when to me he's Rondé Hollis Jefferson a few years ago with that unpolished offensive game.
Actually, that you said it, there was something on ESPN the morning after Atkinson Kupo, or how, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly.
Wait, say that one more time?
Yeah, no, the Greek freak. I'm not even going to try it. I have to practice the pronunciation. ESPN was talking about LeVert and saying, BSPN giving love to a net. It was only like 3 sentences. But he was on the list. There was like a top 10 list of things they like to start the season. And they ended the short blurb about him saying that he has all the makings of a terrific two-way wing player. Showing him some love, and also another article I found about the continuous development of Rondé Hollis Jefferson and how he's kind of coming into his own. And you saw it versus Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know, obviously he had the picture-worthy block of LeBron, and actually Spencer Dinwiddie after the game actually tweeted a photo of him and LeBron in the same.
Saw that.
And he tweeted it out and said, "Whoever captions this the best will get a ticket to tonight's game versus the Knicks." And the winner said something like, "Hey, yo, how's Rondé going to do me like that?" And I think that the guy's Twitter handle was at @RealJeremyLin _7. Yeah, you were watching the game?
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
And listen, LeBron didn't rest. He played 41 minutes, and we beat him.
I know. I wonder. I know he goes hard 95% of the time, but the other 5% of the time, But sometimes I just look at him going, why does he ever pass the ball? Like, he can literally every time down the court. He did it, what was it, games 4 and 5 last year in the NBA Finals? How he literally, every time down the court, he can literally bulldoze his way into the paint. No one's stopping him.
I think he's afraid of the failure.
But then take the game over. Like, this is a game they should win. Number one, easily. But he was getting no help offensively from anyone around him. Jeff Green, 18 points. You know?
I just like the argument of does LeBron have enough help when all we talked about all offseason was how this is the best team he's ever played on. It's got Dwayne Wade, Isaiah Thomas, and look, with Isaiah Thomas, that's an insane sidekick for him to have. You know, almost better than Kyrie because he
they kind of do the same thing minus the handle.
Yeah,
stat wise at least.
But LeBron's got to beat the Nets.
Yeah,
in October.
Absolutely.
So that's and you got to make the free throw. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was stunning. That he missed those two.
And you knew it. You knew he was going to miss one.
And then once he missed the first, he decided to miss the second on purpose. Figured maybe get a rebound, get a quick shot up. But yeah, you're right.
I love the way we fought for that rebound. You see 4 or 5 guys in the picture all trying to that you don't see that. You didn't see that against the Magic. You didn't see that against the Pacers. That was a great optic.
It shows how hard this team works. It does. I mean, this game shows how hard they're working. Win or lose, they're out there, doing what they have to do.
Alan Crabb played extremely well as well.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, but I want to see him, like, he had 14 shots versus Cleveland. And then when we get into part 2 of our episode tonight, we talk about the curse. We talk about a guy that had, where is he? 2 shots. And I don't want to talk about that yet, because I'm going to, talk about that later. But the inconsistency of his amount of shots. And you talked about it. We have to get him more looks.
We have to run. One thing that I don't see enough is I don't see enough opportunities of him running through screens because he can catch and shoot. And when he shoots, it never looks bad out of his hand. It always looks like he has.
Always looks good.
So when you're feeling it, I feel like he can hit two or three threes in a row, and we just won't go back to him. We don't utilize him the right way, and I'm sure that's because everyone's new and everyone's maybe the system's not dictating, or maybe he's not assertive enough. But I would be feeding that guy
all day long,
countless open shots.
Yes, he should lead our team in 3-point shots. There shouldn't even be a close second. DeMarre Carroll shot 9 3-pointers against Cleveland.
He had a big one.
He did. No, he's fantastic too. But it was, I mean, with the amount of young guys getting this game and just building confidence, knowing that you can compete with top level teams, definitely helps. You say that, and then you watch tonight's game, and you're like, no.
Yeah, no, I know. But just a quick point. That Cavs team is going to have a hard time getting out of the East,
No.
and an extremely hard time winning the finals.
They're not winning the finals, but
they looked very old.
Well, they are. I mean, they're up there in age, but
no, they're the oldest team in the NBA.
Yes. Yeah. Who's challenging? I mean, they're coasting through the season. Do you think they care where they're seated? They could be the 7th seed for crying out loud.
Washington.
Well, you think they're challenging? No, not at all.
Winning, no. I don't think anyone's going to beat them, obviously, but I can see Washington.
No, I'm talking. You said they're going to struggle to get out the East.
No, don't do that, Skip Bayless. I said they're going to struggle. I said they're going to struggle. To win
I will
the
stop
finals,
this recording, rewind it, and let you listen to it.
And I don't think it's going to be as easy of a cakewalk. That Cavs team now they'll get better when Dwayne Wade finds his role, and obviously Isaiah Thomas comes back, and even Derrick Rose. But yesterday's team was atrocious. That's not a great team, and they're not going to be good if they rely on LeBron the entire game. 41 minutes against the Nets.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So
you're right.
Imagine that 5 months from now.
Oh, and with the new resting policy in the NBA, he's not going to be sitting as much. So, But again, you have Isaiah Thomas when he comes back in January. How long does it take for him to get acclimated? It's probably going to take him till the playoffs.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Does this ever change your idea of who may start at the point guard?
What do you mean?
Well, Dinwiddie
played
well. Wait. Just hear just hear my point. I'm asking you because I know you're the Dinwiddie fan and I'm the Russell fan. Dinwiddie had 22. Damari Carroll had 18. Jefferson had 19. Crabbe had 19. That's a dynamic. Everyone touching the ball. Everyone getting their looks. We saw what Russell just did against the Magic. In that fourth quarter. Do you sacrifice maybe some potential early wins for, grooming your point guard of the future, or?
Yes and no. I would sacrifice LeVert in the starting lineup and see how Russell plays off the ball too, with Dinwiddie as starting at the 1. But then that kind of ruins our rotation off the bench because now who's that next? Because you saw tonight when LeVert can't bring the ball up.
Because there's no loyalty to Russell. There's no need. He doesn't have a big contract. I'm just saying,
he's going to. No, Dinwiddie. It's also, what are we now? 6 games in, and he's playing good.
Talking about lineup changes.
I know, right? But he's playing. Let's see how long it lasts. And Russell is he's the franchise. He's the face of the franchise. No, I would like to see them two play on the court extended minute, and I probably could look it up if I wanted to, and I will, because now you have me interested in that. But I want to see them on the court together, starting, and I want to see Russell just playing off the ball and if that helps him at all, versus him constantly having the ball in his hands at the 1. And we'll save his play versus the Knicks. But yeah, I mean, when do you think is our next statement win?
Well, I kind of already know the answer to when it's not going to be.
Well, I don't consider what happened tonight anything but trash. But we'll...
No, I don't know if we're going to have a quote unquote statement win against a top team. I just continuing to, after a loss, winning the next game, not letting losing streaks build, and winning 2 in a row. If you could have a bunch of 2-3 winning streaks, you don't need the 8, 9, 10 game winning streak. If you can win 2 or 3 in a row, lose some, then you can maintain that 500 average record and find ways to be successful. But